Well, we're lucky enough to be here in Cambridge, Maryland, with one of my all-time oldest, truest friends. He's an old friend, not an old person. But this is a man who still likes me, as far as I know, even after he's met me and knows me. And this is Don. And I find out that Don is part Indian. And you're part Indian from what nation?
From the Erie Nation,
Erie Nation. And originally what state?
from West Virginia.
Okay, so you were born in West Virginia.
Yes,
And you were a chicken farmer for many years here in Maryland.
35.
Hmm. And you weren't given an Indian name, and the reason I say that is that I have found that West Virginia seems to be a black hole for Native Americans. Do you have that same feeling?
Well, yes, there's still some Native Americans there that stay to themselves. They're very clannish. They don't mix with Europeans at all. And then there was a group that my family is, that I think they tried, or not think, I know they tried to assimilate very early on, and they realized that life would be very hard for them if they did not, and so they did.
Now, I heard the story, and you can dispel it or agree or not agree if you want to, but I heard the story that in the very early years of mining for coal, which is West Virginia's big heyday, is getting coal out of the ground. Everything was coal and related to coal. That the Indians and blacks originally were not allowed down under the ground. They were used as surface workers. Have you ever heard that story told?
Yes, I have.
So,
I've heard that.
So Indians or light-colored black people, the Indians claimed that they were white. The lighter-colored black people claimed that they were Milano, which was a mixture. And because the mining of coal, surface ground didn't pay anything working on the surface. It's that good, rich money that's down in the earth.
That's correct. Yeah, that's right.
And I also recently, and I'll get this from a historian from West Virginia too, when they did the Trail of Tears, a librarian from over in West Virginia, in Charleston, West Virginia, she was not native, so she would not do the interview, but she read an article that when the Census Bureau came along during the Trail of Tears and they were going to relocate all of the Indian tribes and people to Kansas or Oklahoma, but get rid of them out of the east, that the Census Bureau put out a census in West Virginia with only 3 choices. You could either be white, Milano, which was in between, a mix of black and white, or you could be black. They never gave you a choice of Indian or native. So, if you were native, you signed up as one of those 3. So to work in the mines, you'd sign up, of course, as white or Milano, but ideally white, because you looked more white than you did part black. Is there any truth, or have you ever heard this story before?
I have heard that in school. It was touched on briefly. My family didn't discuss it. You heard little rumblings. I mean, early on, I got the impression that you just didn't talk about being any Indian blood. There was people that I knew that when I was younger, that I knew, not know, but when you looked at them, you thought really they must be, but they didn't have Indian names. So you get the impression early on that you just don't discuss it, and we never did.
And you had told me at one time that even at your family reunions, everyone knew that you were part native or Indian, but it was never spoken of. It was a subject matter that was never...
It was something to be ashamed of, so you just did not. You did not. I had several aunts and uncles that, I mean, they would be highly insulted if the subject even came up. So that's on my father's side. My mother's side, that's probably where I got most of my information, which isn't much. It's very, very little. So they weren't as mortified because my great-grandfather was pureblood, and I'm not sure what time frame that was, in the middle 1800s somewhere, but I mean, it was hard for them to deny that. I mean, and they talked about it because it was their grandfather. So,
Well, you had told me once, a couple of years ago at least, that you're part. You know, when I mentioned Native Americans and interviews and whatever, you'd mentioned, well, I'm part Erie, but in West Virginia, it's a black hole for Native Americans. Nobody speaks of it, although they are there, pretty much the same amount it's always been. Nobody speaks of it. At the time, I really thought you were completely full of beans, although I didn't tell you that. But I've made several trips to West Virginia now, maybe 6 or 7 different times that I've stopped and specifically hunted down people that were Native American or part or quarter, half, whatever.
How did you find them?
Well, I just started talking about, and one of them was at a mine exhibition, and they said, oh, Ed, one of the tour guides, is like half or third Indian. I'm not sure what, because he never speaks of it. And I went down and started talking to him, and the minute I talked about interviewing, he clammed up, turned around, and walked away. Another gentleman said, oh, no, you don't want to do that in West Virginia. I mean, they could get physical with you. They're even afraid to talk about it today. They're afraid of the repercussions. And I'm thinking, this is 2016. How can this possibly be still the fear? And the older generations, I found it running rampant. They're fearful of admitting, although people there know that they're part Indian, but they never mention it. You know what I mean? It's not brought up as a topic to talk about. And now I find out there's at least 2 subcultures that are secret societies in West Virginia. They still hold ceremonies, they still talk about it, but it's just like maybe being the Klan, only for Indians. It's a secret society. Nobody tells you when the meetings are, what they are, who's going to them. So this is something I want to hunt down, but I just wanted to apologize to you for thinking for a couple of years, he's got to be full of beans. How can in 2016 there still be a fear of admitting that you're Native American?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a fear. After so many years, after such a long period of time, you just don't talk about it. Yeah, I mean, that's it. You just don't talk.
And and it carries on to your grandson, who all of a sudden comes up and goes, wait, Grandpa, tell me about us being Indian, correct?
Yes. Yeah, he's very interested in it. And I like I tell him, when he was younger, he didn't understand, but of course he does now. But at the time, it's just like, well, I don't know anything about it. I don't know. Nobody talked about it.
Yeah, but the interest is there.
He has an interest, yes, he does.
And does not have a fear in admitting he's part Native.
No. He would be proud of it. I'm not fearful. Can I say I'm proud? I don't know what that means because we never practiced it. We never talked about it. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I say my life has been busy and I've had other things that I've done. Now, if I'd stayed in West Virginia, if I had a chance to associate with some people there that I thought would be think that way or want to do something like that, would I be different? Yeah, I would be. Maybe. Probably. I probably would be.
Now, a little background history about you and I. We met many years ago on motorcycles with a motorcycle group that literally lived. They rode to eat and eat to ride. They would ride and eat every 50 miles. They'd have another meal. And we just had the grandest time. We weren't that style of riders, but you and I have ridden a lot of miles on motorcycles.
Yes, we have.
And I do this interview in front of one of your baby right now. So I'm going to thank you very much for the interview, and then I'm going to have you get your butt out of the way, and I'm going to photograph your motorcycle before I leave, if you don't mind. Don, thank you.
Okay.
Here's Don's baby right here. And man, this guy just got done riding West Virginia. And he's ridden the Dragon's Back and the Snake's Tail, and he's ridden even Tazewell. I'll give you a full shot of that before I go. And this man is, let me see, he's 45 years old? No, he's older than that. Don is, how old?
77.
77 years old. And I'm telling you, he can outride my chubby little butt any day of the week. But I can't thank him enough for doing this interview because he is from West Virginia.